Let me say this clearly. If you cry during training, that's normal. If you get irritated, anxious, you zone out, get super hyped up, or totally shut down, also normal. These are nervous system responses. They're not problems to fix. They're information, I would say. Hi friends, I'm Minky. Why is it so weird to say my name? So over the years, I've worked with, I want to say thousands of people now, across all kinds of bodies, backgrounds, pain levels, and access needs. People who've, never felt safe in a gym before, like me. If you've been circling the idea of personal training, but not sure how to even approach it, this video is for you. It's important to start with your why. What's calling you towards training right now? What is your body asking for? Strength, relief, joy, reconnection? There's no wrong answer, but having an answer helps you stay grounded when things get tough. The next question is, have you made room for this yet? Not just in your calendar, but in your self-concept. Are you letting the idea of training belong in your life? And have you started seeing yourself as someone who moves? Even imagining yourself in motion is a signal that you're ready to start shifting. The big question, and the one I think arguably could be the most important, are you mostly excited or mostly dreading it? Because that feeling, whatever your answer is, it's feedback. If there's hesitation, ask yourself, is it about fear? Is it about feeling not ready? About bad past experiences? Whatever it is, naming that fear helps you set boundaries and then ask for better support. Once you've connected with a trainer, or even if you're just considering it, here's something that I want for you to remember. That time that you have with that trainer, that's your time. It's not a performance, it's a container for you. So make it yours. Remember that it's yours. And ask questions. Say when something doesn't feel right, and tell your trainer if you need a visual, a hands-on cue, or a break. Over the last 5-ish years, I've had the honor of training thousands of folks. Thousands. Wow, that's crazy. But the folks that really thrive long-term are the ones who advocate for their needs or have learned to. If that's something you struggle with, which I totally understand, and I too really have struggled with this, here are some tips. Number one is to know how you learn. Are you visual? Are you kinesthetic? Do you need to try something wrong a few times to get it right? This matters, especially for neurodivergent folks. Research on motor learning shows that autistic adults retain skills better when the instruction style aligns with their processing. Fewer verbal cues, more visual or sensory supports, or vice versa. So say what helps and figure out what helps. That's not being high maintenance. It's building trust and developing a rapport with your trainer. That's so important. Number two, know how you like support. I say no, but really what I'm trying to say is it's good to at least think about it. If you already know, great. Bring that in with you. It might change as you explore movement and explore training, but having a sense, an idea of how you need support, especially when things get hard, is important. Some people are gonna want encouragement. Other people want space. Other people need a softer tone, and some folks kind of want you to give them tough love. You deserve to be supported how you want, not just how somebody else assumes that you should, or how somebody else wants to engage with you. Yeah, so relay that to your trainer, because that will help build that connection with them, which then will help you communicate better and henceforth have a greater and more rewarding training experience. Tip number 3 is to know your goals and make them honest. It could be, I want to feel less scared walking alone at night, or I want to trust my knees again, or I want to be able to look in a mirror without bracing, or I want to be able to carry my groceries up the stairs without feeling winded. Whatever it is, name it. Try not to limit yourself to numbers and aesthetics. The American Council on Exercise, who I'm certified through, shout out to ACE, they found that when folks focused on non-aesthetic goals, they experienced more emotional benefit, higher motivation, and better long-term success. So drop the shoulds. I should do this, I should look like this, I should be such and such, and so said whatever. That doesn't fucking matter, right? What do you want? Speak that into the space. because your goals deserve to take up space too. Next, we're going to talk about a part that nobody really talks about, but almost everyone experiences. Let me say this clearly. If you cry during training, that's normal. If you get irritated, anxious, you zone out, get super hyped up, or totally shut down, also normal. These are nervous system responses. They're not problems to fix. They're information, I would say. Yeah, so according to somatic research, movement can reawaken parts of the body that carry old stress, trauma, or shutdown patterns, especially for folks with chronic pain, CPTSD, dysphoria, or body-based marginalizations. Yeah, training's gonna bring that kind of stuff up. Movement and moving in your body is going to bring things up for you. And that's not a sign to stop. I believe that that's a sign to listen, so to speak. I've trained through periods of burnout and medical trauma and grief. I've taken breaks, sometimes for years, and have still retained most of my strength and movement quality, not because I trained hard, but because I trained with intention. You don't have to earn your place in the gym, point blank. Right? You don't need to look or move a certain way. You don't have to be consistent yet, or confident, or even ready. Okay, you just have to be there, because movement, real movement in practice, isn't a grind, or a test. I like to think of it as a conversation, and your body, with all of its history and wisdom and limitations and desires, that body is welcome in that space. Has to be, should be. So whether you are starting now or next month with a trainer or on your own, start knowing that you're not behind. You are just beginning, and that's more than enough. That's where everybody starts. So if this resonated with you, then let me know in the comments. Or if you wanted to hear something else, throw that down there too, because I'd love to hear what parts of what I talked about stuck with you, or what you are still navigating that I may not have hit on. If you want more videos like this, hit the like button, subscribe. Thanks for being here. You are doing great. You're doing better than you think, probably. Get some food, drink some water, take care of yourself, honestly. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Love you.